So as you probably know by now, the One Piece remake has already been announced quite a while ago. But have you wondered what they're gonna change and improve upon to make it different from the original One Piece adaptation? And of course we know that removing filler and fixing pacing is the main one. Animation as well is obviously going to be improved. But what are the other things that need to be touched up upon that haven't really been mentioned yet? So here I am going to go over the top 5 things the One Piece remake genuinely needs to stand as one of the greatest series known to man, and the greatest possible version of One Piece itself. Now starting with the least likely, number 5, they need to include SBS content within the anime itself, because so much information is left out from anime onlys you would not believe it. The fact that Luffy's dick is confirmed to be able to stretch. Okay, maybe not information like that. We're going as far as Zoro's lineage and certain information about characters that we should really know within the series, but have simply been covered in an SBS because of negligence. Of course, I don't want to bash on Oda too much, but there are times where he goes back on things and he's like, oh yeah, this character's this. Well, it would have been way better if it was actually included in the series. Even what they did in the One Piece remake by including that guy at the beginning that Zoro defeated, the Baroque's work member that was mentioned later on, that's very tasteful. And seeing that in a remake will only make it better. And this also leads into my next point. Number 4, pacing. Fixing the pacing does not mean it has to be one-to-one with the manga. The anime is meant to improve on and fill gaps that are left from the manga. Pacing isn't fast only. I've seen so many series go down this road where they're like, oh, we just need to adapt it fast, get to the big fights, go. And it ruins the series. I sort of God of High School and the remake of Shaman King, which were both inferior to previous products, and I don't want that to happen here, especially since it's a series beloved by so many. But now moving on to point 3, art style. They need a consistent art style, because as cool as it is going from one art style to the other, eventually it does become jarring and it does take you away from the series. Sure, it's cool to come back for clips, certain fights. Having a consistent art style just helps with the immersion overall. Of course, for current One Piece, it's completely fine, right? Because it's kind of already in the mix. But this is a chance for them to have one consistent, amazing art style from the beginning. Now, does that mean they can't spice it up in some certain moments? Of course they can spice it up, but just consistency goes a mile. We saw it with some of the most beloved series, Hunter x Hunter and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. They're not consistently changing art style, are they? So I don't think One Piece should either if it wants to cement itself in that top spot. Now for the penultimate thing, and arguably the most important, number 2, consistent Haki representation. Because you cannot believe how frustrating it is to deal with these black lightning, gold, fucking aura all the time, and not knowing what the fuck it is. But going aside from that point, where that's more so removing confusion, of course I want to see consistently, is this person using observation, are they not using observation? That goes a mile to help in certain situations, right? But the thing this would change the most is some pre-time skip arcs like Marineford. Imagine Marineford where we can actually see Haki. Why would we not take this opportunity to show Haki when characters were using Haki pre-time skip, to show when Zoro had first unlocked armament and represent that visually? But that would genuinely make the first half of the story even better than it already is. And pre-time skip is already the best part of the series without a doubt. Until we see what happens in the final saga, of course, which is looking really good. So not only did they get a chance to redeem themselves with certain anime-only Haki stuff, where we see in the anime some people genuinely just have conquerors for some reason when that wasn't shown in the manga at all. We can also have a consistent way of seeing certain types of Haki. Just make ACOG gold now. Fuck it, go with it consistently. Now we know ACOG equals gold. Armament equals blue. Rio equals yellow, if you get the point. I'm not actually saying represented like that, but make it clear which one is which. Observation include an SFX or some visual cue. Maybe we see a bubble pop around someone's eye, and then that just goes the extra way to make it near perfect. But as important as that point is, it's not as important it's not as important as the next point I'm about to bring up right now. Number 1, cover stories. Because it is ridiculous. Unlike the points before, these cover stories genuinely have an impact on the story and the future of the story. Right? They're starting to cover them now, which is good. If they missed out Aokiji stuff, people would still be confused. But some people, anime onlys, don't even know Enel is on the moon. Don't even know, and that's meant to be a big plot point. Let alone the Lucci stuff, what he was doing before he came back. Caesar, his escape with Germa, they don't even know about that. The amount of information within these cover stories that are actually vital to the story and objectively make them better, nowhere to be found in the anime. Now, can you blame them for not including it? I don't think you really can, because a lot of these times these cover stories are introduced chapters upon chapters after an arc is already done, and the best place to insert these cover stories would be directly after an arc. Morgan gets defeated, cover story directly after Morgan was defeated. But now's the chance to place these cover stories tastefully, whether it's mid-fight in a flashback, where they see what they did in the past and then it can be represented through then, or after an arc, where we follow the enemy for a bit. We don't always have to be with Luffy. We all love Luffy, of course. Well, some people do complain a bit about him, and I don't blame them, but we can leave the character for just a bit to get this important information. And if they miss out on this horrendously, then there was no point in doing the remake at all. And I stand on this point. If they do not show after Enel is defeated, if we do not follow Enel to the moon, then the series is doomed. Genuinely, of course we don't have to include every cover story, but the important ones, they need to be included. So just include the important cover stories as they change the story significantly, and they improve upon them. So there you have it, 5 things the One Piece remake genuinely needs. And if you like this video and you like what I had to say, please do subscribe and leave a like, as it does go a mile for me. And if you want to see some more of my stuff, go check out this video on Momonga, the strongest, most underrated and best Vice Admiral that you probably completely forgot about. So do check that out.